I'd like to try to help people out too, but damn it, you can't. Right now we have more people in this country voting for a living than working for a living. And what I mean is, I think the last statistics I saw was 52, 53, or 4% of everyone in this country is now getting their livelihood through the government. Well, now, people need to understand the government does not have any money, okay? The government can only give to somebody what they take away from somebody else. That's why we pay taxes. Yeah. And so we have a minority of people in this country supporting the majority. And, just if you'll stop and think about it, how long can that last?
Agree.
And this is what we're seeing in some of these other countries. Argentina is a good example. Just check and see what happened to them. They went on this huge socialist program, where everybody's going to get benefits and the government's going to rent subsidies and food and yada, yada, and everything else. And now they're broke, and now, it just doesn't work.
No, sir, it does not.
Sounds good on paper, but it just doesn't work.
Right.
In fact, I think I don't want to repeat myself, so did I tell you the story about the political science class where they experimented with socialism?
Mm-mm.
This is great because this is a perfect example of socialism in work. The political science class, and all the students and the teacher, they all got to arguing over the benefits and the drawbacks of socialism. So the teacher says, okay, tell you what. He said, from now on, we're just going to put it into practice, socialism, into practice here. He said, the next test we have, I'm not going to grade you individually. I mean, I will, but then I'm not going to give you a grade. I'm just going to average it up, and the whole class gets the one average grade. And so some of the more studious students are kind of going, well, but others are going, well, that sounds pretty good. So sure enough, the next test, the whole class got a B, okay, because some people had really studied for it. Others had not studied quite so well. And basically everybody was kind of happy. Of course, the people that really studied had hoped for an A, but a B wasn't so bad. And, of course, the people that hadn't studied, well, hot dog, I got a B. Well, the problem was the next test, the average class grade dropped to a C, because a lot of the people who had been studying for the first one said, well, I'm only going to get what the class gets, so why should I study? And so, boom, dropped a C. And to make a long story short, at the end of the semester, the whole class got an F, because nobody was studying anymore, because why should you? You only got what the class got. And this is socialism in action. In fact, I saw it happen here just this past Sunday at an Easter egg hunt that I went to with my granddaughter. And here were all these little girls, and they're all out, going to go hunt the Easter eggs. And they announced beforehand that no matter how many eggs you got, every child was going to get 12 eggs. Okay?
Right.
So all the little kids, they blew the whistle, all the little kids took off running around, scrambling, working hard, building up a sweat, gathering up their Easter eggs, except this one little girl who just kind of sauntered around and kind of stood there. And at the end of the day, all the ones that had run and put in the effort, they got 12 eggs. Mm-hmm. And the little girl who just kind of stood there got 12 eggs. That's socialism in action.
Yeah.
And it never has worked, and it never will work.